Hello and welcome to the Oregonian Sports Podcast. Bill Oram from the Oregonian, joined as always by Coin Six's Brenna J. Greene, Brenna Q. Greene, Brenna L. Greene, Brenna W. Greene,
None of the above.
Brenna A. Greene.
You just gonna go through the whole alphabet now?
Brenna Greene. Brenna, how are you this fine Boxing Day?
Boxing Day. Oh, what a poll. I like that.
It's the second biggest holiday of the week in Canada, so...
Isn't it a big holiday in England? Isn't this the big day in England?
I mean, I think Christmas is a big day there too.
Well, yeah, but if I recall correctly, also a big day in England.
Across the British Empire.
Yes. I'm good. I'm chilling. My biggest question is, how are you? Because you just endured Christmas with 2 small children, and that is not something I did.
I don't know how everyone else does this. And it was not like this for me growing up. But somewhere along the way, and I realized that this is my 9th Christmas as a parent. My oldest is 8. Somewhere along the way,
Are you counting before the child was born?
No, he was 0 on his first Christmas.
Okay, all right. Okay.
1 for his second Christmas. So the math on that is that he's +1.
Got it.
On Christmases. He's had 1 more Christmas than birthday.
Okay.
But
one of them, he had no idea what was going on, so.
Probably more than 1.
Yes.
My kids get up early. And when I say early, I mean like 4 a.m. And we were able to hold them off yesterday until, I think, 5:10, we opened the first present. And it is unmitigated chaos. And I don't know what to do about it. Like, I grew up in a house where we opened presents after Christmas dinner in the evening, and we went one person at a time, and then you would pass the present back around the room for everyone to admire. Like, oh, look at these tea towels, my grandma might say. And then we'd all take a look at them and go, aw, those are great. Were they made by a local artisan? That was Christmas.
Wow.
Now, in my house, it is just, like a tornado rips through, and then it's 7 a.m. And you've got the whole day ahead of you.
Wow.
So
I want to know. Okay. My first question is, how did you hold the kids off for an hour? How exactly does that work?
So when they went to bed, we told them nothing before 5. We will not do presents before 5 a.m. If you come to our room before 5 a.m., we are not getting up. And so I think that I don't know what they did for that hour. They might have shaken the presents because I went back to sleep. I would have liked them to go watch Scooby-Doo, but I went back to sleep, and I think that they remained lurking.
So you heard them get up at 4 and then fell back to sleep. That's what you're saying.
I heard them come next to my face at 4 a.m. and say, let's get up and open presents. And then I heard myself say, absolutely not. Back up. I love you, but go away.
Oh my gosh. Oh, goodness. How adorable. Hey, at least you aren't like my friend's kids who opened up presents. I believe the Instagram story was yesterday. So on in the middle of the night, it might have actually been on the 23rd, started opening up presents in the middle of the night on the 23rd and opened up all of them, but somehow also managed to throw all the wrapping out in the recycling and everything else out into the trash. So yeah, she woke up and all the presents were unwrapped. Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That would not go over well in my house.
No. And she has 2 boys too, so
2 boys is that is risking life and limb every day, for sure. I have a holiday question for you before we get into the meat of today's show.
Yes, please.
What is the best thing you ate on December 25th, 2024?
Oh, you know what? Normally, not a big fan of the work food because I worked yesterday, and they normally, it's been hit or miss over the years. Let's put it that way, and mostly miss. But yesterday we got some pomegranate chicken that was the bomb. It was so good. I was totally impressed because I was expecting the chicken to be, drier than the Sahara Desert. No, great. And we got leftovers. So I'm not packing a lunch the next few days because I'm just gonna eat at work. So yeah, I will be indulging in the pomegranate chicken that work got for us. There you go. It's not a sexy choice, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. A resounding yay from the newsroom. So that's hard to come by. And whoever made it, you rocked it. So
Newsroom food. So it was somebody at work brought it in. It
No.
wasn't like catered. Oh, it was catered.
It was catered.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. Yeah, that definitely can be hit or miss. If it was like a potluck, that is
Yes.
money, right? Like if
Yes.
you've always got like the colleague who's on the other side of the building who you've never spoken to, who brings in the most incredible, dip you've ever had or something. So
I missed the bake off. I walked into the office the night after the bake off, and I was like, "Wait, there was a bake off today?" There's like food everywhere, and I was like, "I'm too full to eat any of this, and I don't have time, and I'm very upset, and I didn't get to eat any of it." But yeah.
I'm trying to I know this was my question, but I'm trying to think of what the
Yeah.
actual best thing I ate was, but only because I felt like it was all really good because I made it. I do a lot of the cooking in my house, and I made a prime rib, and the prime rib turned out really well.
Heck yeah.
And I was pleased. My dad came over, and he is a pretty discerning guy. I mean, he's 84 years old, so he's had some good prime rib in his life. He said it was the best homemade prime rib he'd ever had.
Ooh.
Which was very meaningful to me because my dad is not somebody who dishes out compliments willy-nilly. But I think the best thing I ate is my wife makes her grandmother's rolls, like crescent rolls from scratch. Yeast, dough, the dough must rise sort of thing. And I think because I have so much admiration for people who can bake, because I can't, and I don't understand the chemistry of it. But they taste so damn good, and we have so many of them, and I'll be eating them for so long. I think it's the rolls, because the rolls are the perfect. Look at me. Do I look like somebody who loves a good roll? The roll is the perfect complement to anything else that's on the plate. You're eating right now. We're talking about food. You couldn't help yourself.
You made me hungry. Yeah.
Is that pomegranate chicken?
No, it's not.
Okay. The roll is the perfect complement. I think the roll is the perfect holiday food item when done correctly, because it is necessary with anything that could possibly be on the plate, whether you're a turkey family, ham family, prime rib family like we were this year, or if you are a late night clam chowder family like we were, because we ate so early yesterday. We had like a 2 p.m. dinner. And then by the time, we were winding down, having some cocktails, I got a cocktail smoker for Christmas from my sister. So we were smoking some old fashions, and everybody got hungry, and I'd made clam chowder for Christmas Eve dinner. And so we reheated that bad boy. And you know what made the clam chowder clutch?
Oh,
the rolls.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Sorry.
Sounds so good.
Brenna, here's what I'm thinking.
I want to add one honorary mention, because if I don't, I would be remiss. I did not get to have this yesterday because my mom was out of town. But my mother's sweet potato casserole delight, whatever you want to call it, brown sugar on top, pecans, the thing is the bomb. Anyways, continue.
Is that a marshmallow sweet potato thing or no?
No marshmallows. We do not do marshmallows in our household. That is a big no-no. But the brown sugar is amazing.
Yeah, shout out to your mom's sweet potato casserole.
Yeah.
And to my my wife's grandmother in Idaho Falls, Idaho. Best rolls on earth.
Yes.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking for today's show. Brenna. On today's show, Brenna, I was thinking that we should take a look forward. This is most likely going to be our final podcast of 2024. We might sneak in a little bit of a Rose Bowl preview, TBD. Yeah. But this is the big shebang. We could do a look back at 2024, the year that was. I suggest we take a look forward, though. And how about some New Year's resolutions in sports in the state of Oregon?
I love it.
And set some goals for the teams and sports figures in the state that we cover. Think we could do that?
I think we can accomplish that, yes.
This was Brenna's idea, actually.
I appreciate a man presenting my idea as his own, though. That was great. Thank you.
I know what my first resolution for myself is.
Oh, that was the most obnoxious laugh ever. I'm sorry to everyone who had to hear that. Continue.
All right, Brenna, I'm gonna cede the floor to you, so that after you give your first resolution, I can just steal it and present it as my own.
Oh, okay, great. Well, I mean, I think, they're the number one team in the country. So the number one place I would like to start is the Oregon Ducks. I think that is understandable. It is the only team in our area that has truly had a great year. So, I think the only real resolution for them is just win, baby. Like, I don't care how you do it. I don't care how stressful it is. Get it done. They have risen to the occasion in 2024. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you like that Christmas pun. And
more of an Easter pun, but we're gonna roll with it.
What'd you say?
It's more of an Easter pun.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right.
Unless you're talking about my wife's grandmother's rolls, in which case the dough did rise.
Either or. It could be our Lord and Savior, or it could be the rolls. I am honoring my Catholic education right now. And we will see if they do that in 2025. But I think they are going to have, if they end up getting through this gauntlet of a college football playoff run, it will be the most impressive postseason run in college football history.
Yep.
There is no questions about it. I think, anybody who wins 3 postseason games, like, that's never been done before. But their path in particular, somehow, is crazy.
FCS erasure right there.
I'm sorry to the FCS, okay? So yeah, I mean, I think it's, I don't care how you do it, just get dubs. Even though I guess I would like them to be comfortable wins, but I don't think it's going to fully go like that. So yeah, I'm assuming you probably have a resolution for the Oregon Ducks as well. So I would love to hear yours. I do,
but it's not where I'm going to start.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the most cliche resolution of them all. And it's for ye old Portland Trailblazers.
Ooh, I knew you were going there. Okay.
And the Portland Trailblazers in 2025, they need to look themselves in the mirror. And they need to confront reality. And the Trailblazers, Brenna, need to go on a diet. Yes, they need to shed some weight. And I'm talking about the outsized contracts and presences of several players on that team. It is time to complete the roster makeover, or at least take significant strides of the roster makeover of embracing the youth movement that is underway, and aligning the books, and being aggressive about trading, in whatever order you prefer, Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant, DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams, who all need to be traded or moved for different reasons. But the bottom line is that none of those players are a part of this team's future, which consists of, right now, I'd say Tumani Kamara and Donovan Clingan, and then Shaden Sharp and Scoot Henderson if he can find his way, and Cooper Flagg if the Blazers can have the necessary amount of luck in May in the lottery. But the it really has just, and I've harped on it before, but it is just time to get things more aligned. And it makes no sense to, I mean, here's the problem. It's hard to trade players, especially under the new CBA. It makes it extremely difficult. So DeAndre Ayton, borderline untradeable. Jeremy Grant, more tradable, but still has a really cumbersome contract. Anthony Simons has underperformed relative to his contract this year. I thought he was probably the most tradable guy coming into the year.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's $25+ million is hard to move, and he hasn't been very good, relative to expectations. I don't know I don't know that the Blazers will be able to trade any or all of those guys. Certainly, I don't think all, but any. The one guy they should be able to trade without question is Robert Williams.
Yeah.
And it just becomes a matter of who's going to give the most. So, shed the fat, dead weight, love yourself. No body shaming here, except for the overly rotund Blazers who should, train for a triathlon or something, or get a Peloton. The Blazers should get a Peloton. Brenna, back to you.
Back to you in the studio, Brenna. Wow. I love that. I love that take on a New Year's resolution for a team. And you're right. The time has come. The time is now. This can no longer be put off anymore.
And I guess I just would finish. Obviously, I would like it all to happen right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm a realist. I think they'll make a move or some moves at the trade deadline. I think some of these are going to linger into the summer. But 2025, that's the year.
Yeah, I really do feel like, everything in their organization has been has been building towards this summer in particular. I'll kind of dovetail into what mine is. I think, last year I was not in the country when the draft lottery went down. That's how much I did not care about the draft lottery last year. And you want to know who also didn't care about the draft lottery last year? The Blazers. Fans were very upset when they got that number 7 pick. To be quite honest with you, I would have probably been more upset if they would have got the number 1 pick.
I agree. Like that was not the lottery you wanted to have the lottery gods smile on you in. Yeah.
You're like, thank God the lottery gods did not smile on me here, because the likelihood of me being the Cavs and going back to back number 1, they did that if I'm remembering correctly, is so low. It's just not gonna happen. So right. I woke up and I saw number 7 and I said, excellent.
Yep.
And I don't think anybody in the Blazers, by the way, was remotely upset with getting the number 7 pick.
Not once they realized they were going to be able to get Donovan Clingan at 7.
Yeah, nobody cared. Yeah. The general vibe I got is nobody's freaking out that we got the number 7 pick and had the 4th best odds. Nobody.
So what's your resolution?
My resolution is along those lines. And I'm trying to figure out how to term this in resolution terms. Maybe my resolution for them is not to have a resolution this year. I think
no goals whatsoever.
No goals. And by that I mean
dream small.
Keep on losing. Okay? I know that's not what fans want to hear. I know that is not an inspiring pick, but you want to know what was inspiring? Seeing Victor Wembanyama have 42 points in the Garden yesterday. That was inspiring. And you want to know who could do something like that in the next few years? One Cooper Flagg.
Ace Bailey. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
I like that you want the Blazers anthem to be that classic Journey song, Stop Believin'.
Yes.
Stop believing. Let go of that feeling. Stop believing.
I thank you for that. I know You're perfect. You know what, Blazers? Yes, you need to trade people, but right now you are perfect in all ways in my eyes.
You're
Because
perfect just the way you are.
you're perfect just the way you are. That's what makes you beautiful, in the words of One Direction. You know, it's not fun for us or for fans to have to deal with a losing team. It's just not. Nobody wants that. But they are certainly not a winning team. That's just the reality of it. And when you're not a winning team and you have the draft class coming up that is available, you must lean in. So, yeah, Blazers, you're perfect in all ways. Don't make a New Year's resolution. Keep doing what you were doing in
You're
2024.
perfectly imperfect.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Because you want to know what? Hopefully this time it'll be worth it. It seems as though the team is messaging Greg Oden might be the lottery pick. Might be the lottery picker. That would be thrilling, I think, personally. And let's just all focus on May.
It's gotta be May.
Gotta be May.
All right. I like that. I like that very much. You asked if I had an Oregon Ducks resolution.
Yes, please.
And I very much do.
Mm.
And it's that in 2025, the Oregon Ducks should win the Big Ten.
Okay.
In basketball.
Okay.
Men's basketball.
Wow, that's a choice. Okay, all right.
This Dana Altman team is capable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say that this is a great team. We don't know. Preseason is can be misleading.
Mm-hmm.
But the Ducks have been very impressive. 11-1. They've had the benefit of health. Nate Biddle's playing the best he's ever played. And I think that this roster just has really good balance. They have good transfers. I thought Dana Altman did a really good job in the transfer portal. And in terms of finding veteran players who provide depth and sort of maturity to the roster. I mean, they lost so much in Jermaine Couisnard and N'Faly Dante in terms of that experience piece and leadership. And then you go get guys like Brandon Angel from Stanford and the player from Washington State whose name is eluding me.
TJ Bamba.
Thank you.
Even though he went to Villanova in between, but yes. That's
fine. What's Villanova anyway? And so he's a future Nick, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
And then and then you just have young players who are stars in their own right. Jackson Shelstad has continued to develop. I just think this team is really going to make a lot of noise in the Big Ten. So whether they win the conference or not, this is a tournament team capable of making a run in March that is going to be a lot of fun. And so when we do turn the page from football, whether that's next week after the Rose Bowl, which no Duck fan wants to hear, or it's January 21st, there's going to be a really good basketball team sitting there that could go on and win the Big Ten. So that's kind of something I'm watching. And if you were an Oregon fan, maybe you should be rooting for that, and certainly something that the men's basketball team should be resolving to do.
Can I piggyback on that resolution?
Is this your third resolution, or is this like a 2.1?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's I have a few extra outliers, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I think brief detours is totally within bounds.
Yes. My New Year's resolution for the Ducks, not quite win the Big Ten, just because there are so many teams in that league. I don't know how it's all going to work out. I mean, I was just looking at the standings as you were talking, and I'm just like, what? Yeah. My New Year's resolution for Oregon is get thee to Seattle. And by that, I do not mean play UW. By that, I mean play in the first and second rounds in Seattle for the NCAA tournament. That most likely means they are a top 4 seed. Right now, they would be a top 4 seed. If the bracket were to come out today, they would be a top 4 seed and most likely in Seattle. Which, by the way, would be kind of fun because I think we would get both Gonzaga and Oregon in Seattle in different brackets, which would be kind of entertaining. But
Brenna finds a way to work Gonzaga into the podcast.
Drink, baby. I mean, I had to.
This is coffee, by the way, for anybody watching on YouTube.
Right.
Or if for my bosses watching on YouTube.
Yeah, I think that should be the goal for this program. Get to Seattle, and then we'll see what happens from there. But get to Seattle.
So you're saying their resolution to try to keep this in the lanes of resolutions.
Yes,
it should be to travel more, and specifically to take a trip to Seattle.
I love that. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for rephrasing this in the way I should have originally phrased it. Thank you very much.
So that was a bonus resolution. Do you have your real third resolution now?
Yeah. Let's go to the Timbers. My New Year's resolution for them is to stop being so dang dramatic. Let's
so more self-care.
Let's get in some therapy.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Like last year we start off with the DeBella fiasco.
That was a DeBella fiasco. I feel very strongly I don't really blame the Timbers for that one, but it was a Timbers it was part of the Timbers ongoing chaos. Agreed. Go ahead.
And also, they would have not been in that position if they hadn't have had the issues that they had the year before. Yeah. Let's be frank, with some ownership stuff that caused them to have their jersey sponsor say, "We're out." Okay?
Fair.
Yeah, that's why Alaska isn't their jersey sponsor anymore. So,
can we agree they ended up in the best possible place, though, with jersey sponsors?
Oh, I agree. Somehow it all worked out for them, which kudos to their marketing team. I don't know how we didn't get this on the first try. Maybe it was a money thing. Maybe DeBella just absolutely blew them away with money compared to Tillamook. That's what I would imagine, but
yeah,
I don't know. I do not know the inner workings of jersey sponsorship machinations. I just know that one was out, another was in, and then it was bad. I don't know.
Bill finds a way to work Tillamook into the podcast.
Yes. Yeah, we've both done our we've played the hits today.
I mean, maybe our resolution for 2025 should be to be less on brand, like zag occasionally. Oh no,
you did it.
Oh damn it! Okay, go on. Continue with your very excellent.
And then
points.
we end with the Evander fiasco, in which we are calling out management on Twitter. So and there were it's a long season. I want to make that clear. It's an incredibly long season.
Right.
So there will be ups and downs. There will be peaks. There will be valleys. That's just what it is. But
there will be golazzos and own goals.
Yes. Also, maybe we don't get, what was it, 5-0 in that final game, I believe?
5-0. Yeah.
5-0.
In the final match.
Yeah, in the final match. Maybe not that in the last match too, at home, in which you got gifted a home game that you shouldn't have had.
Yeah.
But it's
home soil.
It's just that it's been years of just a lot of stuff going on. I mean, even like the Phil Neville hiring, and I'm not saying that Phil Neville shouldn't be the head coach, but I felt as though the way it was handled was just, it could have been a lot better. Could have been a lot better. And not even from the Phil perspective. I've said this before. I think that it could have been handled a lot better from the top. So, it just kind of feels like over the last few years, there's just been a propensity to kind of step in the mud. And I would like to see a season where that doesn't happen.
If I could just piggyback with an adjacent
Please.
resolution,
Please.
I think it's along the lines of what you were saying, but what I would say is couples counseling between Evander and Ned Grabavoy, the Timbers GM, or whomever his particular beef is, whether it's Ned or Merritt or the collection. I don't know if the Evander thing is really repairable, just because he's been on such a scorched earth tear. But
do you mean athletically or the statement that he made?
I mean the statement, and then like have you seen the podcast he's done in Brazil as well since the season ended?
I have not.
He did some podcasts in Brazil where he really doubled down about like being misled and lied to by the Timbers. So I mean, he's obviously not, it's not a, I've not seen a huge thaw from him, but, and I wrote at the time that no player is worth this level of acrimony, and you can't really stand by a player who puts your organization on blast in such a way and undercuts the credibility of your organization to be able to function. So I think that's true, but Evander is such a thrilling player, and a gifted player. Maybe not as gifted as he thinks he is, but extremely gifted. I would like to see him continue in Portland. I would like to see him find peace with his situation in Portland and apologize, and for he and the Timbers to come together and make this work. Because, well, I don't think he is irreplaceable. He's a difficult caliber of player to find a replacement for. And while last year's season, as you said, was peaks and valleys, he and Rodriguez together were magic.
Yeah, they're great.
And I would like to see more of that. And so for this to end in divorce court would be disappointing. So getting couples therapy and and take some accountability on both sides and find a way to stay together for the children.
For the children, yes, for the children of Portland. And we're gonna find out about the state of everything soonish, because next thing you know,
because the season starts so
next
soon.
Thing you know, it's gonna be February, and we're gonna be in like opening interviews.
Yeah,
crazy.
So that was my 3-point B, 3.1, 3.2.
Yes, please go. What's your third?
So my third resolution. I've got a couple here. Well, we're gonna get a team name for the WNBA franchise in 2020, unless it comes in the next 5 days in 2024, which would be delightful. I feel more strongly than ever, though, that the WNBA franchise should stick to what it knows and what is right, and name the team. It should resolve itself to be called the Portland Swifts.
I'm so out on that.
This is my resolution. You will do not interrupt me, please. Let me make my case. The Swifts. Remember, I remember we had a whole conversation about this.
Yes.
The Chapman Swifts did not mean anything to you. It did not particularly stir or evoke any like great feelings about the city of Portland. But one of the great traditions is the pilgrimage, the nightly flight of the Chapman Elementary Swifts. It is a beloved Portland tradition. In a city with many great bird traditions. And also, you will sell so much merch to people who could not care less about basketball or the city of Portland. It just is a win-win. I say this as somebody whose wife went to the Eras Tour in Vancouver and will be paying for that for basically the rest of eternity. But now that the Eras Tour is over, I think Taylor Swift fans need something else to get excited about. And what's better than a WNBA team in Portland that pays homage to the Chapman Elementary Swifts, but also, subtly or not so subtly, T-Swizzle.
And this is coming from someone who loves her some T-Swift, but I think it's a really niche thing that generally becomes a Taylor Swift thing, and it just feels cheap to me. So
yes, very much so.
I also would like to say I do not like the Toronto.
What did they?
Name.
The Torrent or the Torpedoes? The Torch? The Tories?
I want to make sure that I have this right. No, it's not that. It's like the Tempo or something.
Tempo. So you're saying you're channeling J.K. Simmons and saying it's not quite your tempo?
Yep, I was right. Toronto Tempo.
Do you know where J.K. Simmons went to college, by the way?
I'm aware of where he went to college. Where did he go to college, Bill?
The University of Montana.
Wow, okay.
He's a Grizzly. Good old Grizzly.
Once
That's
again,
right. We have an Academy Award winner
hits.
in our midst. His parents still live in Missoula. He's a beloved local figure.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of aspirational-ish team names.
We've had months, Brenna.
Yep.
What would you name Portland's WNBA team that will start playing in the summer of 2026, right around the corner?
I've heard the Tridents recently. I don't hate that.
That was on my. Hold on. You've heard that recently?
Yeah, I've seen it more recently, I guess.
Who has said that?
I don't remember. I still like the Roses. I know people don't like the Roses, but I like the Roses.
I do hate the Roses.
I know
September 19th, 2024. You know who suggested the Trident in print? Your favorite local neighborhood sports columnist did. It was among the 300 or so included. So I'd be pro that also.
Yeah.
I resolve for it. I want them to resolve to choose a team name that I included on that September, when I say 19th column, so that I can take full credit for it.
Obviously.
Because I basically trademarked everything. And
you threw the kitchen sink at them.
Yeah. Okay, go for 4.
Okay, 4. We're gonna go to the Thorns now. We're gonna go to the Thorns. And for the Thorns, my New Year's resolution is it is time to bloom. It is time to mature. It is time to grow up. Okay? And that is not me saying that the team is none of those things. However, there is a transition going on over there right now. You lose Christine Sinclair and Becky Sauerbrunn. Those are unquestionably your 2 leaders of that team. And you know, this is going to be a transition year, and it is very, very clearly, in my eyes, Sophia Smith and Sam Coffey's team. It is time for them to step into more of a vocal role on that squad. To be honest with you, I'm not worried about Sam Coffey as much. I think that she's really naturally like that. I'm not super concerned about Sophia, but I just don't know if she's as naturally gregarious. Now, you look at Christine Sinclair, was she gregarious? Probably not. You know, but she just kind of had that earned respect that was just kind of baked into her being. So yeah, this is a time of transition, and it is time to, take the next step. And in particular, I think those 2. It is time to take the next step. It is really obvious who is going to be looked upon to do things over there. So, yeah, this is Sophia Smith and Sam Coffey's team now. And it is time for them to act as such. So
I'm 38 years old, and I feel like that's my New Year's resolution too. Like, this is the year I'm gonna finally grow up. Like, I'm gonna stop. Like, I'm gonna stop asking my parents for help. Like, Christine Sinclair has finally cut the thorns off. Like, you're on your own. I like that one very much. Number 4. How do I want to put this? My 4th resolution is for the Portland Diamond Project.
oh gosh.
And
whew, I might have some
Portland
thoughts
Diamond
here, even though I
Project,
don't have a resolution for them. I might have some thoughts here.
See, I think I am an eternal hopefulist. Okay?
That's lovely.
I think, like many people in the city of Portland, would love to fast forward to the moment that, boom, there is a baseball stadium at Zidell Yards, there's a Major League Baseball team, there is ball being played on the banks of the Willamette River. I want to see that. I will burn a flame for that possibility. Even though intellectually I remain something of a skeptic. But I do think that I do believe that, Craig Cheek and his group have made like an honest, good faith effort to try to realize this.
Mm-hmm.
And so my resolution for them is to, is to host more. You know, so for example, like if you find yourself just at home a lot, eating alone, or going out, but not really entertaining, I want them to entertain more in 2025. And by that, I mean,
talk.
There's that. Can we bring Rob Manfred to Portland? Can we get the commissioner's visit to the city of Portland? Because that would legitimize, in my opinion, the possibility that Major League Baseball could be looking Portland's way. Because for all of the things that we've seen over these number of years, I think we're at 7 years, we'll be moving into 8 years, the Portland Diamond Project, there has not been, speaking of another, holiday classic, Charlie Brown, Peanuts, there's this felt a little bit like an unrequited love. And
yeah.
I would, if the Diamond Project has a chance of coming true, we're going to need to see that Rob Manfred knows that
exist
is serious and is in the mix. There's obviously, there was the report a few weeks ago about the meeting from the Diamond Project with all the local business and civic leaders kind of making the case for public support of baseball and what baseball could do. I think there's more of that coming in the next month. There's a message that is being spread, that I think is necessary because it's not going to, but like the other thing, and I've made
mean
this
anything?
Case, well, I think if you get more people excited at the government and, high level economic level, then yeah, it does mean something. Like if you get the city's like, and the state's actual movers and shakers and people with actual power rowing in the same direction and deciding this is an effort that the state wants to throw itself into, yeah, that means something. I would worry that it's too late given where, other efforts in other cities are. But if Major League Baseball decides, it doesn't matter that, like, in the end, if Major League Baseball wants to be in Portland, let's say, just theoretically, then they'll come to Portland. It doesn't matter that, Salt Lake's effort is more organized or got started a little sooner in terms of being really ready, if they decide that this is where they want to be. Like, like you wouldn't go to, just because you got asked to prom by, okay, here's as somebody who never got asked to prom, I'm going to use this metaphor. If somebody I didn't want to go to prom with gave me the best ever promposal, right? And it was the most extravagant, most thoughtful, well thought out thing, but it wasn't the person I liked and wanted to go to prom with. But the person I really wanted to go to prom with was like, yo, you in? I'm probably still going with the person I wanted to go with in the first place. I'm sorry. And so I think Major League Baseball, that could be the same situation. But again, we need to see that there is mutual interest. And I think that would start with, entertaining more in the new year. And also maybe you could invite the person who is supposedly funding all of this, and you can invite the rest of us to see
The
that
Wizard of
person as
Oz.
well. You are you're such a hater.
I am a hater.
Like I said, I'm a skeptic, but I think that
I'm sorry. What have they? It's just like it's just one. It's just exhausting. It's just
it is exhausting. I don't disagree with that. I just don't. But here's what I would say. I don't think it is a. And I think I hate that I'm even gonna say this. I feel like it legitimizes the really bad faith arguments about the Portland Diamond Project. But I don't think it's a fraud.
Mm.
So I think there's an earnest, good faith effort that may be a pipe dream and may never be realized, but it's not a fraud, in my opinion. I think some of the efforts have been better than others, and maybe there have been, I think the Red Tail effort was a total, the deviation from anything that was good for the region. Outside of baseball is good as a holistic sort of ethos, but I thought that took credibility away from how serious they were about the singular mission. I think that I think Zeidel has re-legitimized that. So anyway, entertain more. Specifically, have Rob Manfred over for dinner. That's my resolution number 4. You have one more chance to make this a good year for Portland and Oregon sports. 2025. This is your last chance. How are you going to do it?
Yeah, it does really feel like it's going to be this year or nothing. So I will, because it does feel like baseball is getting closer and closer to making some decisions in terms of that.
I meant that you, Brenna Greene, have one more chance with your 5th and final resolution.
I have one more
but
chance.
But also that worked for the Diamond Project as well. But your 5th and final resolution, this is your last chance to guarantee a good year in 2025. What is it?
Trying to figure out how to phrase this. I'm sorry. I just got so wrapped up in Portland Diamond Project and all of my opinions. I must be their favorite. I'm sure I'm their favorite person that's ever existed.
You know the David Pumpkins sketch from Saturday Night Live? Are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, I'm going to make this reference for the people listening who do know the sketch or the reference. When it's I'm so in the weeds with David Pumpkins. You are so in the weeds with the Portland Diamond Project. Portland D Project. Okay, go.
All I'm going to say is this. If you really want a baseball team to come to Portland, then have the person come out who's supposedly funding this whole thing.
I agree with that. I completely agree.
Stand behind your convictions. Stop this. It delegitimizes you when you keep coming out and saying, well, we can't say the person who has the money.
Sure.
I mean, come on.
I completely agree.
What franchise has ever done that before?
Okay. Here's a sorry, we're gonna get to your 5th resolution.
No, we will, but you know what? We got to get to Gab on this. So
I agree completely. Okay, we need to know who it is. What if the prospective owner is a minority owner of another Major League Baseball team currently?
Okay.
Like a 5% owner of the Texas Rangers.
Okay.
As an investment.
All right.
And wants to branch off and have his or her own, a majority stake in an expansion team, and is passionate about that and is passionate about Portland. Does it make sense, or does it stand to reason that person could not be public about those efforts until divesting that existing stake in a team?
I'm not sure what the rules are on that.
Or is the conflict of interest just by even making the effort at all? I don't know. I think it's a fair question about why somebody. Because I've spent a lot of time thinking about why and asking why would somebody remain anonymous this long, and that's probably the most understandable explanation I've been able to come to. So I don't know the answer, but that is my only pushback on the anonymity thing.
Okay, well, I'm not
My
gonna
fifth
say.
resolution is going
I'm
to be
not
about
gonna say
baseball
what I
too.
want to say at this point.
My fifth resolution is going to be about baseball too, just to make your head explode.
Okay, cool, great, awesome.
Go ahead.
Okay. My my fifth New Year's resolution is for the I like how we've done some different things. And this one is going to be a little bit different. My
Alrighty.
fifth resolution is for the Portland Pilots women's basketball team.
Hey now, I like this.
Hey now. Hey now.
Hey now.
My New Year's resolution for them is to advance the brand. Okay? I have
Ignite the pilot light.
sure. I like the rhyming, at least there. It is time. I've enjoyed the plucky upstart pilots. I like it. It's been fun. There has never been a year that is more prime for them to go into the WCC and actually win this thing and not have to do the whole thing at the WCC tournament where they're upsetting people and everyone's like, oh my gosh, what is happening?
Yeah.
Than this one. It is time. Gonzaga lost a ton of starters from last year's team. They lost 4 starters. This is a Gonzaga team that is rebuilding right now. And then you have an OSU team and a WSU team that were both kind of gutted by the portal.
Have you ever seen
this is the year.
Have you ever seen the I thought it was a John Hughes movie, but it's not. But it's like a John Hughes movie. Can't Buy Me Love, starring Patrick Dempsey.
I have not seen it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, you weren't born yet when it came out, and unfortunately I was. So it exists in that like relatively tight window of time when I existed and you didn't, because we're both 30-somethings.
Mm-hmm.
But in Can't Buy Me Love, there's a line where Patrick Dempsey has had a real glow up, we would say in modern parlance. And they say that he went from totally geek to totally chic.
Mm-hmm.
So would we say that the Portland Pilots women have gone from totally meek to totally chic? Because they're coached by Michael Meek?
I'll buy in. Sure, why not?
I should pregame this podcast with smoked old fashions every week. Because you know who's smoking this show right now? Me.
You. Absolutely.
They were last night, by the way, again, for my bosses who are watching.
I appreciate you taking a sip of your coffee that no longer has coffee anymore in it while you said that.
Dregs. It has dregs.
Okay.
Melted ice.
Melted
water.
Ice. Yum, yum,
AKA
yum.
water.
Yum. And I want to go beyond. I want to go beyond that lovely WCC point.
From totally meek to totally sleek.
Totally sleek. It's time to win a tournament game, baby. Like,
ooh.
Like, let's, like, you know, and here's the deal. If they, I guess you don't really know with how it works with the women's bracket, actually, but, you know, if they, okay, listen to me. If they win the WCC and they win the tournament, if they win both of those things, okay, they win the regular season and they win the WCC tournament, methinks that the committee would be less likely to send them to a place like, oh, you know, Manhattan, Kansas. Okay? So hopefully they would get a more favorable matchup, a closer matchup, and that might be intriguing. So, yeah, I think it's just, you know, it's time to advance the brand.
I thought you were going to say that you thought they could host.
No.
Which would be a like huge ascension. That'd be really good.
That'd be great, but unfortunately,
but again, I don't know how the women's bracket works. So,
well, I mean, you have to be a top 16 seed.
I know, Brenna.
Okay.
I am also a sports journalist for a living.
Well, I wasn't sure if you were being serious or not. You never know with you,
It's all serious all the time.
All serious all the time. Yeah, no, I do not see a world in which they could host. I mean, I guess maybe if they ran the table, that'd be pretty impressive. But I don't think that's going to happen either. That's just not realistic. So, if they did run the table, yeah, I think they'd have to. They might be in that conversation, but I just don't. I don't see that happening. So, we'll see. They've got a nice little stretch coming up here. They got OSU and Gonzaga, I believe, in back-to-back games. So,
I mean, okay.
Yep.
I just was going to say that I don't feel like that they are going to be particularly threatened by the Oregon State women, but that's okay.
I mean, maybe not.
But
You've got Santa Clara. See, these are things that I know because I'm way too in tune with WCC basketball, but Santa Clara's okay. They got a really good player on their team, but that's about it. And then Oregon State, and then Gonzaga. So, there you have it.
My fifth resolution.
Stewing.
Where do I want to go?
I had one I left out.
Well, I just have some like general concepts of a plan, I think.
Okay.
I don't feel like I think the question about Dan Lanning leaving is kind of passé and not really relevant right now. I don't see him leaving, although I think there will be probably another round of overtures getting shot down. I almost went Will Stein just because I think there's going to be a lot of interest in Will Stein. For whether it's for, I do not think he should leave for another OC job anywhere unless he wants to go to the NFL. I could see him getting a head coaching offer. So my resolution for him would be to be discerning. My resolution for the Beavers is to be bold. I don't know if I want to go with any of those for my fifth resolution. I don't know, Brenna. I don't know if I have a fifth. Like, Here's my fifth resolution. I thought I had it.
Look at you. You were all over me for not quite having my fifth resolution, like figuring out how to phrase it. And now you hot call the kettle black.
Okay. My fifth resolution is for parents at sporting events. This will be my eternal resolution. It is not a Oregon specific one, but locally, anywhere, be good citizens of the bleachers. By that, I mean, don't boo kids under any circumstances. Don't backseat drive your kid's coach. Don't take it too far with referees. Don't be a jackass. At sporting events of all levels, if you are the guy at a Blazers game who thinks that your ticket gives you the right to yell F-bombs repeatedly when you've got, kids around you who aren't your kids, check yourself. If you are a parent who is reliving your glory days through your child, check yourself. Let sports be fun and recognize your place in the ecosystem.
Wow, that was a very serious take from you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Brenna, if this is our last podcast until 2025, I would just like to thank you for letting me join you on the show this year. It's been a lot of fun. I haven't checked how many episodes we've done, but I feel like it's been somewhere in the neighborhood of 30.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And I think that has been a pretty good run. I think we're going to come back and keep doing it in 2025. If you are up for it. I hope the answer is yes. But if not, let me know. Sorry, we're having technical difficulty here with Brenna's microphone, so I'm trying to delay.
I got it
This is
fixed.
like on TV they do this, like you got to stall.
Can you hear me better now?
No.
Okay. Well,
You've gotten very faint. It's like you're fading away, like 2024 is fading out.
I think I'm gonna fix it. Oh shoot. Well,
Brenna, the good news for you.
Maybe it is what it is.
It is very sit closer to your computer. Put your face right up to your screen.
Yep, right here. Right
that's
here.
Better.
Okay,
it is very fitting that a podcast that started with me stealing your idea ends with me like basically cutting your mic to end the year. But I will sign off for both of us, Brenna. Thank you for a great year. Thank you for another great episode. I look forward to seeing all those resolutions come true in the new year. And I will next speak to you in sunny Southern California at the Rose Bowl, which is
Let's go.
Which is going to be a lot of fun. So, and thank you to our listeners for sticking with us throughout the year and supporting, giving us those 5-star reviews that help other people find our show wherever you and your loved ones get podcasts. As you're sitting around these holidays with your family, maybe mention to them that you love listening to the Oregonian Sports podcast. Give the gift of this podcast to your loved ones. In fact, it may be even better to give the gift of this podcast to your enemies. But whatever works for you, thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for supporting our work wherever you find it. Social media, television, the print edition of the newspaper. I hear from some of those folks. Not sure if they're the ones listening to the podcast. Maybe. Anyhow, thank you for listening. Appreciate the support. And we'll be back maybe before the end of 2024, but big TBD on that one.